of them. Ken Patera doing battle with the Pitbull, Kerry Brown. The bell has sounded. Bulldog, I know you're excited because your son's in there, but you got to be excited just for being a part of it. Ken Patera and Kerry Pitbull Brown.
Oh, yeah, all I can tell you is it's going to... I've been looking forward to this battle since last week. Kerry's going to take it right to him. Hey, listen, Kerry's got a lot of class. He was taught right, and I told him he was a little nervous, but after I get through talking to him, I quieted him down a little bit. I said, I want a big match from you, and go out and win at any cost.
Well, I mean, you know, he risks a big injury here against Ken Patera. He's already signed on that big tour to take on Baron Von Raschke. And Brown running out of the ring here. And he's telling Kerry Brown to back off the rope. And you talk about another conference call here between father and son. And Patera says he's had enough. Let's get on with this. And I don't blame him.
I'm just asking him a question.
All right. And Ken Patera is screaming loudly here at Kerry Pitbull Brown. Let's see if we can get in on this conversation.
Don't eavesdrop. Just do your job.
All right, the words of Kerry Pitbull Brown. He's worse than you are. No comment. I'll tell you one thing for sure. Ken Patera's got to be a little worried too, because he's got that big match as well on that tour. In that tag match with Scott Flash Norton taking on Markoff and El Casey. That one should be a barn burner.
He might not even be here.
All right. We're going to find out in due time, aren't we, Bob? On a block there. All right. Ken Patera backing up the Pitbull, and Bob, it backfired on your son.
It backfired. He knows what he's doing. Don't you kid yourself. He knows every moment that he's in that ring. He knows everything that he's going to do. He's a very, very, very shrewd operator. He was taught by the best, and he's not going to let nobody down.
Well, they're locking up right now in a squared circle. Patera and Brown. And this one should be a real test of strength, and Patera wins it. Patera winning that big bronze medal in 1972 in the Olympic Games. Also one of the world's best shot putters.
One thing about it, you said bronze. I guess he wasn't the best. He never won the gold.
Come on, Bulldog, you know what it takes to become an Olympic athlete in the first place. You've got to be one of the best going.
I won all the gold medals when I went there.
Oh, here we go. Bob, I mean, really, don't take me for a fool all the time, but I don't think you've ever been to the Olympics, all right? You've maybe watched them on TV, but that doesn't make you an Olympic athlete, all right?
I'm an expert when it comes to the Olympics. I've seen it all.
We'll get back to you fans at home whether or not Bulldog Bob Brown decides on taking a job in the world of politics or not. I'm not sure. But I'll tell you one thing, he's got his mouth running for him.
Hey, we're going to do all our talking in the month of February. Hey, when you put a dog collar around me and you give me a 15-foot chain in the ring, can you imagine how dangerous Bulldog Bob Brown's going to be? Do you want to know something? I might consider taking the French Mad Dog's eye right out with the chain.
Oh, come on, Bulldog. We'll have to see what happens in that one. But right now, Kerry Brown might be going home tonight with one arm longer than the other if Ken Patera has anything to do with it. I tell you, these two guys are two of the true giants in professional wrestling, both men evenly matched in both weight and in height.
Well, he certainly got Kerry Brown. Now, he's got a hold on Kerry Brown. He's doing something more today than I saw him in the last 2 or 3 weeks. He's really had some easy matches. But today, he doesn't know what he's doing.
Well, right now, Brown trying to get a rest outside the ring to regain his composure, if you will. And Ken Patera just methodically walking around the ring, pacing, trying to get a hold. And another conference. That's right, I agree with Ken Patera 100%.
Keep your opinion to yourself.
I'll tell the people at home, these two men want to chit-chat, maybe have a tea party. Someone order them both a couple of cups of tea. And Ken Patera, I tell you, you got to be frustrated with this, and these two men know what they're doing out here. Ken Patera yelling at you, Bulldog, that you better give your son some good advice. Mickey Jones, the third man in the ring, and he's got his work cut out for him. Well, there you see Kerry Brown psyching himself up, Bulldog. What did you say to him?
Oh, I just told him a few things. I'm going to go up and I'm going to give him a few pointers.
Holy crow, I can't believe. Another conference for crying out loud. There's no timeouts in the world of pro. All right, Ken Patera just stomping on the hands of Bulldog Bob Brown. All right. Oh, Bulldog Bob Brown now yelling at him. Bulldog Bob Brown getting his hand stepped on. Bulldog, come on over here for a second. What does it feel like to have 275 pounds step on your hands, Bulldog? He wants to watch now on his son. Tony, you saw what happened. It's about time. There's no timeouts in professional. Here he comes again. You saw what happened. Ken Patera stepping on the hands of Bulldog Bob Brown, and Bob screaming now that he has no reason to do that.
Well, the way I see it, I do not know why Bulldog Bob Brown, you know, every time I see that name, I always say wrong because it is wrong to start. What did he have his hand on the mat, I'd like to know.
Well, why don't we ask him? He's joined us back here at ringside, Bob. I thought you deserved it.
I went up to talk to my son, Kerry, to pick Cobra. Can I go up and talk to my own son without some maniac stepping on my hand?
Well, you might have to suffer a lot worse when you step into that squared circle in that dog collar match. I'm a little terrified for you and the dog both, believe it or not, Bob. And I'll tell you why, because I've seen one of those matches once before, and I'll tell you, it was a bloodbath. Fans, if you can't stand to see blood, please stay home, because that one is going to be an all-time encounter, and we have it for you right here in the WFWA.
Very well said.
Right now, your son might have taken your advice. I don't know, but he's going to work with that bottom rope strand. That bottom strand crossing the throat of Ken Patera. I don't know, Bob. Is that what you told him or what?
Just told him to go right after him.
And a karate thrust to the throat. And Kerry Brown going for that pin. A 2 count. Now Brown introducing Mr. Patera to that turnbuckle. Ken Patera, man, he's been around for a lot of years. A fan favorite wherever he goes. And he blocks another one, and another one. Patera hasn't lost it all, and a few right hands, and another one, a big elbow. And a whip coming, and here it is. Brown coming back, and that elbow lands right on the chin. And Patera is just incensed now. He's telling Brown to get up. A big knee. These two men are going at it. Two true heavyweights like Cooney and Foreman a couple of weeks back. And big clothesline. That one almost leveled your son into next week. And Kerry Brown has stepped out of the ring. What's he doing, Bob?
I don't know what's happening to Kerry.
Come on, Kerry Brown is walking towards the dressing room.
Well, listen, I really don't blame him for walking, because I tell you what, the referee favors Ken Patera all night long. I don't blame him for walking out either.
That's right. I agree with Ken Patera yelling over here. If that's the advice you gave him, the referee has called this one a count out on your son. The winner, the Olympic strongman Ken Patera.
I tell you, when you go up there and talk to him, Joe, let me remind you one thing, that Ken Patera caused all this, and the referee couldn't control this match.
You know, wrestling fans, that big tour is just this far away, and Ken Patera, Kerry Brown walked out, father like son as far as I'm concerned, but you got to be thinking about that big tag team match on this tour. It will be you and Scott Flash Norton taking on Chris Markoff and Sheik Adnan El Casey, and this had to happen. Too many interferences on their part, and I'm telling you right now, you've got to be incensed and happy in another way.
That's right, I am. I'm going to tell you something, Sheik Adnan El Casey and Chris Markoff. Just like Kerry Von Erich took a pike, or Kerry Von Erich, what I'm talking, Kerry Brown, listening to his old man's advice. If you get in trouble, just take a hike. Well, I'm going to tell you, Adnan and Chris Markoff, you're not going to be able to run, and you're not going to be able to hide, because when Scott Norton and Ken Patera get through with you, you'll be crawling out of the ring, either that or carted off with assistance.
All right, Ken Patera, we're talking about over 1,000 pounds in that tag team match alone. And Kenny, I don't know where you found the Flash. I know he's been a friend of yours for a long time. He must have been happy to come in here and help you out.
Like he said, he couldn't hardly wait to get in the ring as my partner when I gave him the news. But I'll tell you, here's a man that's 6'3", 385 pounds. He bench presses 798 pounds. Can you imagine what's going to happen in his hands when he gets a hold of you, Adnan, and Chris Markoff? It's going to be a sorry day in your lives. That's what I promise you.
All right, wrestling fans, you make sure you get your tickets for that big date, because it will be the Olympic strongman Ken Patera tagging up with Scott Flash Norton, taking on Chris Markoff and Sheik Adnan LKC. We will want to see you there, because it's going to be a night of wrestling action you don't dare want to miss.